This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
So, love the title of this podcast today because it brings a very vivid visual, and that is neutered by self-doubt. Have you been neutered by self-doubt? Think about that for just a moment. Definitely resonates with men for sure. But the premise here applies to anybody. But have they been taken away, neutered by self-doubt, meaning you haven't moved forward. You don't have confidence. You don't have a set up. So we're going to dig into that today. Look at it in many different angles, this thing called self-doubt. She's a life coach at Strategic Development Life Coaching. Cindy Valente is back with us. How are you doing today?
I am well, Steve. How are you?
I can admit I've been neutered at some point.
You won't feel like that at the end.
I hope so. I need them back. But yes, this whole self-doubt thing holds us back, paralyzes us, makes us frustrated with ourselves, especially because we can't pilot forward because we have self-doubt. But I'm going to cut a little bit of slack here. It's normal though, isn't it, to some extent?
I think we all have it. I mean, if we don't, I think we're not being honest with ourselves.
Agreed.
It's there, it creeps in, and we're going to talk today about how to let that creep out.
Yeah. Trying to think of where we begin today with self-doubt. Is it second guessing yourself as well?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we can talk about why our drive doesn't drive like it used to. Our self-doubt drive. That's easy it goes away. For starters, it's not a lack of potential. It's a mindset block, but we can get through it. Self-doubt can creep in like a bucket of cold water, putting out our flame. It can sound like, who do I think I am? I need more time. I need more money. I need more approval. I don't have what it takes. Those kind of things can just, take all of our self-doubt, all of the things that, I mean, it's easy to be high 1 minute feeling great. And then this, crazy thought will come in creeping in. And then all of a sudden you're in that self-doubt mode, but self-doubt is learned, period. And anything learned can be unlearned.
Isn't this come back to something we talked about in the past? It's the F word, 4 letters.
Right.
Fear.
Oh, absolutely. Fear of, for this episode, we, and for many actually, rejection, embarrassment, disappointment, and even fear of being seen trying. Because that means we're vulnerable, we're being visible, and we're feeling judged.
And we failed or potentially could.
Right. And of course it's, failure is in our own mindset, but nobody wants to be in rejection mode or embarrassed.
That's a painful one when you think about it in
Sure.
The world of self-doubt. It's going to be there. We're going to have fear, etc. But if you've put a lot of effort into something and it didn't work out, it's going to happen. Yes, kind of sucks. It is what it is. Maybe out of your control. It's even, I think, worse for people to see you trying so hard and it didn't come to fruition. And thinking of what if they see me trying so hard and if I fail, it's even worse, more self-doubt. Right. I'm not even going to do it. I'm not going to. I don't want to be seen that way.
Right. But that comes full circle too. We have to get on our mindsets that it doesn't matter what somebody else thinks. We have to dig deep into ourselves and say, I matter more. What I'm doing matters more. And where I'm going and what I'm doing with my life matters so much more than somebody's opinion, because everybody has them.
Yeah. That's one of those things. If I went back as a kid and, it's a classic thing, what would you tell yourself? It would be, don't worry what other people think.
that's a hard thing. I mean, I
Yeah.
think that comes with time, experience.
Yep. Confidence.
Right, right.
Mm.
And lack of confidence that, you understand, oh, I'm feeling this way because my confidence is low right now. So what can I do to get my confidence back up?
Yeah.
And that goes into, change what you're doing at that very moment. Do 10 jumping jacks, or read a book. Reading a
Hmm.
book takes you into somebody else's life, somebody else's place, and can redirect, the way you're thinking.
Hmm. I
They're
never thought
simple.
of that. Let's go there for a minute. I never
All
thought
right.
of that when you're in the throes of self-doubt, maybe a little bit of fear, to change things radically up. 10 jumping jacks, just get your mind in a different direction. Never even thought of that. Because what do? We just wallow in it. Like, oh, how's it going to work? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a great idea.
And we don't, when we're wallowing, which we all can do, our breathing isn't calm. And so if you can, get your heart rate up, some people need their heart rate to go up like 10 jumping jacks, or some need to go into a quiet moment to close their eyes and just do some breathing exercises. But whatever it is for you, whatever, gets you into that place of get that, oh, that thought came creeping back in,
Yep.
out.
Yep.
And everyone is capable of that.
I know it's so simple, but it didn't even, the breathing thing. I've got that.
Right.
And practice it fairly regularly. Like, I'll even catch myself. You're breathing like kind of shallow. What do you got on your mind? Like I'll do an assessment,
Right.
and it all comes up, but the refocus doing something else, especially as silly as it sounds, exercise
Right.
releases chemicals, even if it's a short burst of that, and get your mind in a different direction. So maybe you get some clarity, see things, in a different way. Um, what else can you tell us about self-doubt?
Well, a lot of things, but one of the things that resonated with me is self-doubt might be bigger in our minds than we ever realized. First we can be inspired, then we get overwhelmed. And this can happen many, many times in the course of just a day. It fluctuates back and forth, our self-doubt, our self-esteem, and those things. It's hard to be full of self-esteem all day long. I mean, who can do that? Kudos. We spend more time researching than launching, and
Yep.
and we second guess our small decisions. We
Yep.
wait for everything to be just right or perfect.
And it's the when mentality. Yeah, I'm gonna get that done when I do a little more research. I'm gonna take care of
Right,
that when the time is right. It's not right now. I'm gonna do this when. I'm gonna change jobs when we move. I'm gonna do this when. When may
right,
never arrive.
right. I mean, it could be simple as, I'm going to go sort that sock drawer that I, need to go do. It's, you know, changing it up and just trying to deflect what you really should be putting your mind at rest by
Yep.
putting your mind in a calm state.
Hmm.
If here's why these things here's how it works. So you become aware of and taking the first steps of reclaiming your power after you've been through all your reflecting of self-doubt, and get your ambition back on track. Find what is your ambition. Each person has their own, get it back on track. Find what your ambition is. Remembering that every step forward, no matter how small, builds momentum.
Hmm.
Every little thing you do creates momentum in a positive way, always.
I got you on that, and it's a tough one
Of course.
because we live in that I call it that Amazon world. Want it right now. I click
Right.
that button in most areas. Coming here by 3P today. Prime member 3. Technically not, but yes, we don't see the little wins.
Right.
And I believe it just comes to patience. You need to just go a little slower, even though you don't want to, so you can see it. And I get it. And I pilot by this phrase, everything is work. Every
Right.
Some days it's like I just want to get from point A to point G, but oh my gosh, I gotta go A, B, C, D, E, F.
Mhm.
Like, why does it have to be work? It's just the way it is. I can't, some things, some things require more, but it is
So,
what it
but
is.
The things that are hard and the things that are easy are the same path. Which path do you want to take?
The things that are hard and the things that are easy are the same path.
They take the same time, the same thought. You have a choice. The fork in the road.
You know, I don't want to admit it, but it's true. It's
It
true.
is true.
Whether it's easy or whether it's hard, it's the thoughts that count.
Right.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna ride on the negative, like, oh gosh, it's like, and again, I don't mean this in a negative way, but everything is work. Even what do they call it? Breath work. You
Yeah.
making plans for the weekend with friends, and you got to get everybody together. Are we going to meet at this time? Who's going to drive? What time are we going to be there? Who's going? Blah, 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 blah. It's work. It's actually
Yes.
work to get everybody
Yeah.
together to have a good time. But you know what? It's worth the work. Oh, everything is worth the work,
Right.
essentially. Hmm.
And it can be fun if you want it to be.
You should make it that way.
You should make it
You
that
should.
way.
Yeah.
And for these things, focus on the progress, not the perfection of it all. Because
Hmm.
we all want to make it just right. Even planning a getaway. Sometimes we can go into I can't get this right. I never do it right, even though I want to plan this trip, and then you get into your self-doubt. And then, you can change your mindset and say, all right, I may not always plan it the right way, but here's how it's going to go. Here's how much fun we're going to have. And then you change your mindset and think about, visualize, how the fun you're going to be having on that trip instead of, oh, I forgot the rafts or floats or whatever. It doesn't matter. Go with the mindset of it's going to be fun. And, you end up having the time you choose to have.
Once again, it comes down to your thoughts.
Always. Yeah.
Hmm.
What's in between the ears matters.
Yeah. It's, this is true.
But, believe in yourself greater than you believe in your fears.
Yes. Not easy. Not
No.
easy. But isn't it a wonderful feeling when you believe in yourself?
Oh, yes. I mean, it's practice, 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 practice.
Think about it for a moment. Those times where you felt good, you were just riding high. This is, whatever it may be, a task you completed, people saw that you did it, whatever it may be. I don't think there's a better feeling, maybe aside from love. It is, but that's love for yourself. What a great feeling. Like you're literally sitting on top of the world. That feeling. Why wouldn't you want to have that more often?
And that's a good thing to tell yourself every day. Hey, when I felt really good, it felt really good.
Right.
So let's give that momentum, give that the fire.
Fuel. Yeah.
Right.
Mm.
Let that be the fire. And the things that ordinary everyday things that chip away at our self-doubt, and how to, things that can make those positive. These are very small things. Keeping small promises to yourself, like finishing a glass of water when you said you would, or being on time when you said you would.
Mm. Mm.
Each of those wins builds trust in yourself because you did it. Even, be it small, it's still a win. Everything going forward, every positive momentum option is a win. Look at it like a win
I'm
instead
seeing
of
this in
trying
a
to make
different
it
way.
the
I really am now because they say you want to create habits, you want to change the neuroplasticity in your brain. And by doing that, if you celebrate those little wins, it starts adding up to something big. So
Mhm.
yeah, if you had an appointment, you showed up early, maybe sometimes you're late, and you're kind of changing it up. Celebrate that win. Say to yourself, yeah, you know what? I got there 10 minutes early. I feel good. I'm relaxed. I'm not rushing like I usually am. It may seem insignificant, but I'm thinking that in the big picture, it's a big deal.
Right.
Hmm.
Although all those things are, I mean, I think so. I think you really have to celebrate the wins because we do beat ourselves up so often. And how often do we build ourselves up? And that's something that we all need to start doing that more. Giving ourselves grace and giving ourselves attaboys, pat on the back, when even the tiniest, smallest of things, even if you go through your day, find something that you can do that is an absolute zero fail in a task, a to do, and write it down. And you can look at it and go, I did that. Even if it's ever so slight. But it's those everyday positive things that you can do for yourself that get you out of doubting things that you do. Nobody wants to
Yeah.
spend any more time doubting.
And it could be things that you don't really want to do, but you have to do. It's still a win. I got to take the garbage out here. It's been sitting
Mhm.
there for a few days, and it's like, I really want to go to the dumpster. But you know what? Got it off my plate. That's a win. Maybe a tiny
Right.
one. And there's no fail in that, well, unless the dumpster is locked, not it's a little forward momentum. That's what I'm detecting here.
Right. Baby steps and continually every day, all day, not just once a day, all day. I think these things can really get you launched,
Yeah, yeah.
and whatever positivity you want to take yourself. And another small option, get dressed for the day, even if no one's going to see you. I know going back to COVID, you know, how many times did we sit in sweats all day long? We
Yeah.
did. But then sometimes, you can feel like in that mode, you just kind of want to schlump around all day because you didn't get up, you didn't get dressed, didn't get started for your day. And I think that matters, and appearance signals your own personal self-worth.
Hmm. There's a lot here that people don't realize and don't talk about. What else? Self-doubt. There's so many different types. What else can we look at?
For positive things, helping someone out, whether it's holding a door for somebody, giving them a compliment,
Hmm.
encouragement. It reminds you that you have your own personal self-value, that you can think outside yourself. And I think for myself, when I do a nice thing for someone, it makes me feel good.
Totally.
And I like the way that feels,
Hmm. Yeah.
and
Isn't it
it,
interesting that we're afraid to ask people for help?
and there's that. Yep.
And then there's that. And you are doing that other person a favor by allowing them to help you because it's going to make them
Mhm.
feel good.
And it's for everybody, it's a win-win.
It's a win-win. We think of it more as a burden,
Oh, sure.
right?
Well, it can be, but I mean, I think anytime anybody can do something nice for someone else is just a positive, and they're, and your day can go in a completely different direction when you do one small simple step that is not part of your normal part of your day. That's a good thing.
I am one of those people that don't often ask for help unless I'm like really need it. I just don't. And I have to change that mindset that putting a burden on somebody else
Right.
but it shouldn't be thought that way. It shouldn't be thought
Right.
that way. Somebody called me before and asked for help, a little help with something, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm going to have to dedicate time. They're going to be, probably going to need a lot of attention. It's the tiniest thing that they asked. And I'm thinking to myself, that's all you need? No problem.
Right.
Like,
And for them, that ask may have taken the week to get the courage to do.
you know what made it? The end of the phone call, they said, I appreciate you. I'm like, I appreciate you too. I got you. No worries. It was the
Right.
littlest thing.
Right.
It was like
And it was a
basically,
big deal.
yes, it was basically send them a file that they needed. And then
Right.
that was it. And I said, well, I see what you're trying to do. Let me take a look and see if I can help you with the overall project. Maybe save some money with my resources, whatever it might be. I wasn't even planning. They weren't even planning that. If I can, I can. Either way, I'm gonna take care of what they needed initially. But it was simple. It's simple.
Right.
I'll have it done in 5 minutes, at 3 minutes at the most. Yeah, we need to reframe a lot of this and look at these things in a different way.
Right. I mean, and this goes back to our talk last week, is treating yourself well.
Yeah.
Say it out loud. What you did well today. Name that mindset shift. Name it. So you know that, you treated yourself well. Name it, remember it. And when you have self-doubt, write it down. Go back to that moment of, gosh, I felt really good about myself. I treated myself well, and I should do that more often.
Mm. I would even say write it down and journal it.
Oh, well, I say that all the time. I journal all the time. So yes, for sure.
In my gratitude journal, there's actually a field for later in the day, if you choose to fill it out, that says what made today great, and then this fields for three things you could write, and then what would have made today better. And if you choose to write that in there, you can. And I think there's also maybe a random act of kindness. Did you do anything to help anybody? You don't have to. I mean, the most important thing is the gratitude part, the affirmations that they have there, and it makes it real when you write it down.
And it's emotional payoffs.
Hmm.
When your ambition is fire and you hear your inner voice saying, there's so much more. And we got to think about ourselves. What would the version of ourselves look like if we had no self-doubt? What would we do next? If self-doubt got out of our way, what would we do next?
Well, I can quote from the men's group I'm in.
Oh, yeah.
I would be, and others in the group would say the same thing, would be the man I always wanted to be. It would.
Right.
If you take away the self-doubt, it's dare I say, it's the biggest thing standing in your way.
Right.
All of us.
Getting out of our own way is practice.
I know it's a cliche, can't get out of my own way, but
Right,
it's
right.
the truth, though.
Right. I know that's what I hate to say cliches, but they do come back full circle and be like, it matters.
The older I get, the more I see that, and all those things that my mom used to say that I'd be like, yeah, okay, whatever, mom, you're old. I would think that in my mind, yeah, you're an old person. Now I'm older than she was when she said those things, but all those things she said, they're all true.
Right.
Not because my mom said them. They're all true. Like, go with the flow. Just go with the flow. I'm like, I'm a kid. I'm 20, 25. What do you go with the flow? What are you talking about? Now I get it. Go with the flow of life. Don't try to fight it. You're going the same way anyway. And you can interpret these things any way you want. But, for me, there's truth in it.
Absolutely. And freedom comes from no longer second guessing every move we make.
Yeah. Yep. Just go.
Personal freedom is huge.
Personal freedom brings peace, and that comes love of yourself and all of that. And that's what we ultimately want, right?
Yeah. I mean, think about the other side of doubt. That's what that is. Laughter, creativity, abundance, freedom.
Out of time, closing thoughts.
So quickly our time passes. So in closing, I'd like to remind all of us that self-doubt may have delayed us, but does not define us. It's time to believe again, time to act again, and remember to just be it with Cindy Valente.
Love it. So glad we talked about this today because it's kind of everything. It really is, whether we want to admit it or not. CindyValente.com is your website, right?
Yes.
And you're available. Anybody's got a question, looking for some changes, looking to move their life forward, coaching and accountability, it's all there. Thank you for today.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Okay. I was taking notes, so not even kidding. All right.
Good.
Okay. Catch up next time. Okay.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.